Shoji and Koda go plus ultra, Spinner faces a real tragedy, and the fate of the My Hero world is left in the hands of one man. Let's talk about all of this and more as we dive right into the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. So My Hero Academia Chapter 372 is finally out, and with it we get to see the continuation of the War of the Heteromorphs. Shoji, Koda, and Spinner all getting more time in the spotlight than they have in the last 370 chapters. But it sure is one hell of a spotlight. But before I begin, don't forget to Detroit smash that like button and slide on into that subscribe button's DMs to hit that notification bell. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into My Hero Academia Chapter 372, titled Naked. This chapter opens up with a brief flashback to the heroes' preparations before the final fight, where we see both Shoji and Koda confronting Aizawa and All Might about wanting to be on the team that protects Central Hospital. Aizawa and All Might are both taken aback by this request, as at this time they hadn't told any of the students about their plan to protect the hospital. Shoji and Koda explain that the giant fox lady who Midoriya had previously saved came to them and told them that while she was out on the streets, she received a message / call to action to storm Central Hospital, which was supposedly sent to all mutant-type quirk wielders. Shoji, adamant to help in this conflict, then tells All Might and Aizawa that if he were to look away from this fight in particular, he could never call himself a hero. Following this, the story then cuts back to the present, where we see present Mike looking on at both Shoji and Koda giving it their all in their respective fights, as he thinks to himself how, although he was sent to this hospital to help these kids, there's no doubt about it. They are already far stronger than even he, Shirakumo, and Aizawa were when they were called the Three Idiots. And then, once again, the story cuts to a brief flashback. This time, however, to Koda's past, where Koda's mother explains to her young mountain-headed son that the horns on their heads allow their feelings to reach animals that are even out of their voices' range. Basically explaining that when they feel strong emotions, they can command animals with their thoughts. In this flashback, she also explains that, like most heteromorphs, she too was picked on because of her looks. But Koji's father stood up for her and got angry at anyone who dared laugh at her because of them. It's honestly quite a sweet moment. Koda's mother then tells Koda that he should try and follow in his father's footsteps and become an adult who gets angry when people laugh at someone he cares about. And with this, the story cuts right back to the present, where we get this magnificent panel of Shoji and Koda with some assistance from present Mike, both unleashing their ultimate moves simultaneously. Not gonna lie, this got me hyped as fuck. As Shoji begins to fall from the sky after this attack, he calls out to Spinner, asking him what is it he's really trying to protect with his new giant body and scales. Shoji then turns to the massive crowd, questioning them what are they trying to protect with their amazing powers. And as he remembers Aoyama and the little girl he saved from drowning, tears fill his eyes as he cries out, "Don't give in to your wounds or hatred, because it's your children and the next generation who will be the ones suffering from it." And this heartfelt speech seems to reach the massive crowd. That is until Spinner speaks up once more, loudly reiterating the call to action sent out to all the mutants before this fight, which can basically be summarized as Spinner saying, if the heroes win, nothing will change. So we have to attack before they attack us. Fight together and follow me. It's also super fun to note that as Spinner says this, he's not only remembering his past, but he now looks like an absolute monster. Dude went from baby to behemoth. But anyway, fueled with a newfound rage, Spinner leaps from a nearby building and directly towards the hospital, causing the heteromorph army to get fired up again and continue their assault. Although, this time, it's noted there is a bit of hesitation before their attack. Shoji, shocked at the citizens' refusal to turn back good, looks on in horror as he thinks about how it seems there is no end to this fight. And it's heavily implied by this image that if the fighting doesn't end soon, the heroes will have to get bloody. God damn, this is some heavy imagery. Immediately after this, we then see Spinner, looking absolutely insane, make it to and smash through the front of the hospital, followed by a horde of mutants. It's then revealed that the villain's plan is to play a recording of Shigaraki or All for One's voice to Kurogiri in an attempt to reactivate his programming. Spinner, now desperately looking for Kurogiri's room, thinks to himself how, now it's important to note the wording of this, Kurogiri's quirk will end this war. Definitely some foreshadowing right there. As he's continuing to leap and bound through the hospital, we actually get to see Spinner's thoughts, where we can see that he still sees himself in his ordinary form. And in this form, he mentions how he always thought he would be a nobody. But now he knows if he can just reach Kurogiri, he will finally become a somebody. And following this statement, we are then greeted with this heartbreaking image of Spinner all alone crying out, "Shigaraki, look how much people follow me." That's right, no one followed Spinner further into the hospital. As it turns out, upon seeing the innocent doctors and nurses standing blocking the entry to the ward in an attempt to defend their patients, and remembering the words of Shoji, the horde of mutants couldn't bring themselves to carry this fight on any longer. So they let Spinner go on ahead all alone. It's also maybe important to point out that the doctors were blocking the path to Kurogiri, so Spinner could have very well just trampled over all of them to get to his destination. But as Spinner looks back in shock, wondering where all of his followers are, a voice echoes from the darkness, informing him that his troops won't be coming and he won't be your trump card. And with this, chapter 372 comes to an end, as out of the darkness steps out Present Mike, resulting in both Spinner and Present Mike hurriedly shouting out towards the ghostly Nomu in the chair. Spinner calling out Kurogiri, while Present Mike calls out Shirakumo. And all we see is the blank face of the Nomu as we are left with the question, who will he respond to? Overall, this was a wild chapter. Not only did we get plus ultra moments for Shoji and Koda, but we also got a huge development in the Spinner story arc. Despite how terrifying he looked and how evil his plans were, I actually felt bad when Spinner looked back to see no one following him. Like, yes, he's evil, and yes, he probably killed a lot of innocent people, but poor Lizard Boy just wanted to fit in. Shoji's definitely been the star of the last two chapters, and to be honest, he is absolutely rocking it. It's honestly a shame we didn't get more of him in the previous chapters. He could have had a parallel arc to Spinner throughout the story, the same way Midoriya did to Shigaraki. The ending with Kurogiri has me so excited, and just the thought of seeing Shirakumo back has me losing my mind over here. Trust me, if you read Vigilantes, you would be too. But let me know what you think of this chapter. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment what you think is going to happen next. For more My Hero content, subscribe to the Lunchtime crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Plus Ultra.